Well, hello, hello. It's Geaux Stros. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, on this great big earth, coming at you from Hiroshima, Japan. Once again, it's Geaux Stros. If you're kind of wondering why all of the anime stuff, I've just decided recently to start changing my channel style, primarily because I am in Japan. And just trying to match the theme of where I'm at and what I'm doing. Make it look a little more interesting for everyone. Let's see here. I gotta make a few adjustments on the screen. Boom. Okay, should be good to go now. You'll notice I got some cool avatars on the screen now instead of just the regular picture images. I've got the anime style images on the screen. First pitch is due in about 8 minutes. Originally, I was not going to do this game. I had taken it down and I wasn't going to broadcast it, wasn't going to do the live play by play. But I just couldn't really sleep. And I decided, you know what? What the hey? I'll go ahead and do the game. If for some reason I get too tired, too worn out, then I'll lie down. But right now, I just feel awake, so I'm going to do this game. I hope you guys can enjoy it. Currently, no one watching right now except for me. Oh, one more joined. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to be slowly changing my layout over time so that it becomes more and more streamlined and makes more and more sense. But as you can see, I've got my first GIF on the screen of an Astros pitcher of Renel Blanco. He's just standing there blinking over and over. It's kind of cool. I'm hoping to make some avatars of the pitchers where they're kind of like maybe occasionally just hit their gloves or something like that. But getting the AI tools to create exactly what I'm looking for is a little challenging. Just to make, I know it seems simple, but just to make one image of the character not moving, just standing there blinking, is such a challenge. You keep telling it instructions and it just keeps messing up and creating all sorts of weird stuff. You would not believe all of the mess ups that it's created. But anyway, like I said, the first pitch will be on the way in just a few minutes from Blanco, but I'm going to go in the other room and grab my hot water and come back in about 1 minute. Don't go away. Okay, guys, I'm back. Just like that, the Astros broadcasters are also getting ready. You can see they've got a little chit-chat going on the screen right now. I don't know. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. They're showing a little highlight of Cam Smith there. I figured out what was going on. I figured it out. They were basically showing, they're doing kind of a Mother's Day thing, and they're showing how they actually called in Cam Smith's mom to let him know on opening day that he would be starting for the Astros. He'd be playing for the Astros. And that's why he was all upset and teary-eyed. I was wondering. I couldn't hear the audio, so I didn't know what was going on. But let's see if anybody's in the chat right now. Not yet. Got one person watching. That would probably be me, unless there's a lurker. But I think it's me because I do have my screen up. I think I need to reset my avatar, though it seems to be a little off. Let me see. Reset. Where's that reset? There it is. Okay, good. Now I think it's better. All right, we're looking pretty decent at the moment. All right, now we're good to go. Still had my menu on the screen, but I just got it taken care of. All right, guys, it is 3:08 a.m. here. The pitch for me here in Japan is scheduled for 3:10 a.m. The Astros are tied up in this series 1-1. They won by a low margin, 3-0 in Game 1. And I'm sure you know, if you're a fan of either one of these teams, which you likely are, you must absolutely be aware of what happened in the game yesterday. And there is something about that we really should talk about, actually. And that is this. In the first inning, of course, McCullers got blown up. He gave up 7 runs. They pulled him out, put in Von Way. Von Way gave up 3 more. Astros gave up 10 runs in the first inning. But here's the news that I heard. It's absolutely horrible. Maybe some of you have heard it, but some people were actually making calls and contacting McCullers' family, making death threats. And that's not funny. He has a couple of little kids, a couple of girls. I myself have a daughter. My daughter, of course, is almost 25. But it doesn't change the fact. You just don't make death threats to people, period. But to do that over a game, there are certain circumstances where I could understand where the emotions would push a person to making threats on someone's life. I won't say that there's not a single circumstance where people wouldn't get emotionally pushed to that point, but a pitcher coming in and giving up 7 runs in the first inning is not one of those times. Very, very disappointed in some of these people. I won't say that they're just Astros fans. My guess is that these aren't just fans, because the game doesn't really matter. I think it's people who are betting on the games. That's what I think. That's why I won't allow betting as a sponsor. Blanco is on the mound. He's facing TJ Friedel. Here comes the first pitch of the game. Just a little low, ball one. And here we go. Thank you for being here. Make sure you click like on the video. I'd really like that. Here comes the next pitch. That one's in there. For strike one. A 93 mile per hour four-seam fastball. The count is 1-1. I won't be showing every single pitch today because I don't want to get any copyright issues. Here comes the third pitch. That's in there. 81 mile per hour curve. Nice pitch by Blanco. Right on the outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5 people watching now. How many likes do we have? 4. Nice. That pitch is in the ball. Curve ball. Just a wee bit low it was. 2-2. To TJ Friedel. Lots of people wearing pink. Likely because of Mother's Day. Little outside. Full count. See what Ronell can do here. Here comes the full count toss. The rock toss to the plate. Let's see what he can do with the stick. Strike 3. Ronell starts off with a full count strikeout of TJ Friedel. That's what I like to see. Yesterday, McCullers started off with a walk. It's nice to see a strikeout instead. Feel sorry for McCullers. I really do hope he has a strong comeback. Matt McLean is at the plate. He fouls the first one off to the right side. Past first base and into the crowd. Strike 1. 4 people hanging out right now. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. A little inside. Ball 1. Counts 1-1. Yainer Diaz is behind the plate today, by the way. Altuve will not be in the lineup today. Apparently he still has a strain. That pitch is in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to McLean. Here comes the next pitch. A little high. 2-2 is the count. We're even Steven. Will Blanco get another strikeout here? That'd be nice. Just strike everybody out, Blanco. Here comes the pitch. He got him. What do you know? He's listening to me. The pitch comm is connected to my computer and I didn't even realize it. Holy cow. Another strikeout. 2 straight strikeouts for Blanco on a 3-2 count and then a 2-2 count. Top 2 batters for the Reds go down like dead weeds. Like dead weeds around my old Japanese house. First pitch to Ellie De La Cruz. Inside. He does the little dance. I'm going to call that the Reds dance. It was inside, but it was nowhere near as far inside as De La Cruz is pretending. I see a lot of Reds doing that. When the ball's inside, they jump out of the way like it's too far inside. I feel like the pitching coach is teaching them to do that. 2 balls and no strikes. In the game yesterday, I saw a lot of them doing that. And they were getting called strikes. Getting called for strikes even so. Here's the pitch. That's in there in the bottom of the plate. Bottom of the plate. Listen to me. It's 3:15 in the morning. 2 balls and 1 strike. And then the bottom of the zone is what I meant to say. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, that's right in the middle of the zone. Me likey. 2-2 on that 86 mile per hour slider. Crowd is getting a little excited here. It looks like a nice crowd in Daikin Park tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the toss. Strike 3. Call him out. What do you know? Look at that De La Cruz just standing there and he's jawing. He's giving the umpire the business. 3 freaking strikeouts for Renel Blanco. Heck yes, man. Getting it done in the first inning. 3 up and 3 down. Yes, sir. Have yourself a first inning, that's for sure. How big of a change is that from yesterday to today? A 2-2 strikeout. So a 3-2 strikeout and 2-2-2 strikeouts for Renel Blanco. We go into the bottom of the first. This game is tied with no hits. Astros with the opportunity here to get the first hit of the game. Jordan says, good early morning. To you too, Jordan. Indeed, it is 3:16 in the morning for me. And I was going to take the advice of you guys and lay off. But just because of things, I haven't been able to sleep. So I hope that I can do this game just fine. Also, I really wanted to be here since they had such a terrible game yesterday, you know, or a challenging game. The pitchers did, especially McCullers. I mean, if you think about it, if you erase all of the runs that McCullers gave up, the Astros win that game. I mean, heck, if you just erase half the runs that he gave up, the Astros win that game. That's how well the Astros bats did yesterday. So there's nothing to be ashamed about with that game. I mean, I know that some people are giving McCullers grief, and some of them are going way too far by threatening his family. It's nuts. Those guys have to be betting on the games. Can't imagine why a regular fan would do that over just a basic game against the Reds. Chase Petty is on the mound. First pitch to Jeremy Pena, the leadoff batter, is on the way. A little outside, 98 miles an hour. Ball 1. Paredes is going to be batting second, followed by Walker. Paredes is on deck. Altuve is off. Outside again, ball 2. 2 good takes by Pena. Altuve had some kind of, I guess, uncomfortableness or soreness in his hamstring, so he is out. Hopefully he'll be all right and back soon. He needs a rest. 99 on the edge of the zone, a little high and outside, but it was right there, so 2-1. I want to see if they're going to go this hard on Father's Day like they do on Mother's Day. Grounded foul down the third baseline. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Pena. Jordan says this game might be 1-0. I don't know, man. Jordan, did you actually see Chase Petty's ERA? It's 34.7. 34.7. I don't know. Here comes the next pitch to Pena. It's in the dirt outside. 95 miles an hour. Full count. Pena is actually batting .311 at home, so he's doing much better here. But .264 on the road, it's not good, but it's not really bad either. Here comes the pitch. There we go. Pena rips it into left field. Lead off hit. We have a runner on. First hit of the game. First hit for the Astros. We've got the flash on first base. That brings up Isak the ball Paredes. No way Astros fans threaten Lance after what he did against the hated Yankees. Yeah, a fan wouldn't do that. There's no way fans are doing that. It's got to be people betting on the games. First pitch is in there for strike 1 against Paredes. I wish the media would make that clear. It's not Astros fans. It's bettors. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Long delay by Petty. That's in there. 90-mile-per-hour changeup. That's kind of crazy. 0-2. Paredes calls timeout, steps out of the box for a moment to get a breather. Jordan says maybe only the Reds used up all their runs. They owe us a few extra runs. That's true. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Long delay by Petty. And he tosses that one way outside. Almost lost control of it. Good take by Paredes. Not going for that 99 mile per hour trash. 10th pitch for Petty coming up in just a moment. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Nope. He goes over to first. Pena is back. That was pretty quick. Pena just barely back in time. One and two against Paredes. We might have a pitch here, and we do. Outside again, an 89 mile an hour changeup. The count is even 2-2. 9 people following along. Make sure you like the live stream if you will. There are 7 likes on it already. I appreciate that. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. This is hit on a line drive right to De La Cruz. If you're going to hit it to somebody on the infield, you better hit it to him. He's the one that's most prone to errors, but he makes that play. Not hit as hard as it seemed. Soft line drive. One away. That brings up Christian Walker, I believe. That's my assumption, and I'm correct. Diaz is catching today, batting 4th. The DH is Caratini, batting 5th. Here comes the first pitch to Walker. Just a little high and outside for ball 1. Good take. One and 0 with 1 out. Pena on first. There's the pitch. Good take. Outside. Ball 2. 93 miles an hour. Even this guy's changeups are between 89 and 91. It's kind of crazy. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That's on the outside edge. Could have gone either way, but I assumed the umpire was going to call it because he called it earlier, and I was correct. 2-1. I was thinking cartel betting. Who else would do that, says Jordan. I agree. Well, not just that, but you know, serious bettors. My brother's a serious bettor. He would do something like that. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but the thing is, I know that he's addicted to, or at least he was. I haven't talked to him in a long time. He was addicted to gambling. Many forms of addictions. It really messes with the mind. 3-1 to Walker. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. That could have been ball 4. That was a couple inches below the zone. Full count. But they're making him work a little bit. Chase Petty up to 16 pitches. This will be his 17th. A full count to Christian Walker. Nope. Petty goes over to first base. Pena is back. Crowd boos a little bit. No reason to boo that. It's just part of baseball. We do it too. Here comes the 3-2 to Walker. 3, 2, 1, and it's on the way. That's low, ball 4. There we go. Pena was running. Doesn't matter. Runners on first and second with 1 out. And that will bring up Yiner Beginer. Yiner Beginer Diaz. Yiner Shiner. They're showing this highlight whenever everybody was ignoring Yiner after his first home run, and then they finally started celebrating. Yiner fouls the first pitch off down the third baseline. 0-1. Whoops. Hit the wrong button there. There we go. Will Bite, good to see you back. The booing is tradition at every ballpark. Yeah, it is. I just wish that it wasn't, because, everybody throws over to the first base side. Yiner goes way outside trying to get that ball and misses it. That is, I hate to say that as vintage Yiner, but it really is. He does that too much. 2 strikes. The count is 0-2. The 20th pitch from Petty on the way in just a moment. 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. Yiner pokes it over to Ellie De La Cruz. It goes to second and over to first. Do they get him? Yes, they do, and that's a double play. So that kills anything that the Astros might have done in the first inning. We go to the top of the second. As I try to reload my MLB screen. One of the things that I really, really, really hate about the MLB interface, the MLB screen interface, and I know that they're doing it on purpose, between the end of the inning and the beginning of a commercial, they deliberately change the controls just a little bit. So if you go down and you try to mute the audio, which is what I do on the commercials, what happens is, instead of clicking on the mute, you wind up clicking on something else, and it's usually an advertisement. You see? They do that on purpose, and I know it, so I try to mute it before it starts, but sometimes they cut it early. So the commentators are actually in the middle of saying something. For example, they'll say, well, that's it for the top of the first. We're going to go, and then they cut it at that part. So it seems like you have a few more seconds because they're in the middle of saying something, but they cut it early on purpose. So I basically have to try to cut the feed. I have to hit mute much, much earlier. It's so ridiculous that I have to go to these links just to try to avoid clicking on a ridiculous advertisement. It's so silly. I'm already paying. Think about that. I'm already paying for the service. I'm already paying for a year of MLB Network. Why do I need to pay? Why do I need to deal with stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Jordan says he almost beat that out. Yeah, for Diaz it was close. Maybe if it were Pena or Myers, they would have beaten it out. And Jordan says expecting to make life-changing money and lose everything in the first inning. Yeah. One guy actually did comment. Did you guys see my community post? I should probably do maybe another question or a poll in the live chat. I'll do that. I just got to think of something. If you guys have a good idea, let me know. I'd be happy to post it in the live chat. I haven't been doing that recently. Blanco is back on the mound. He is facing a new batter. Who is it? Whoever it is, just check swung, I guess, for the first strike. 0-1. That would be Austin Hayes. He was DH, I believe, yesterday. No, not DH, pinch hitter. Just a little low and outside on the curveball. Count is even, 1-1. But yeah. Jordan, Will Bite, anyone else? If you have an idea of what I could put as a poll or a question. Mainly a poll, maybe. That would be kind of cool to have a poll in the live chat. Sliders in there for strike 2. 1-2. Hayes steps out of the box for a moment to take a breather. Now he's back in. 1-2 pitch from Polanco is on the way. Low and outside. 2-2. I'm really hoping that my knee feels a lot better tomorrow so that I can finish packing and go ahead and start moving out to my Cominca. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. Got a half dozen watching? That's okay considering I have 8 likes on the live stream. That's all good. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Right in the top of the zone. Heck yes. 4 strikeouts for Renel Blanco. The first 4 batters go down. That one looking. Take a look at this. Right in the top of the zone. 85-mile-per-hour slider. Man, Blanco. He's got it going on right now. Another 2-2 strikeout. That's 3 2-2 strikeouts. Gavin Lux is at the plate. He goes after the first one. This looks like it's going to be the first out that's not a strikeout. DeCenzo comes in, makes the play. A little fly ball to left field. One pitch to Lux, and he goes down. Don't want to say Lux sucks, but that was not a good hit. That was kind of childish. Why did I say that? Sorry, guys. If you are a Reds fan, I didn't mean to make you feel bad or anything. Too bad Lux doesn't play for the Dodgers. I wouldn't have any problem saying that. Next batter's at the plate. Takes right on the edge. How could that not be a strike? 93-mile-per-hour sinker right on the edge of the plate. Spencer Steer at the bat. Here's the next pitch. He fouls that one up and away and out of play. Counts even, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, no runners on. Oh, Dubin came in from Salt Lake City, so they might be using him today. You never know. 93-mile-per-hour fastball just misses up and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Blanco. 85-mile-per-hour slider. The count is 2-2. Is Steer going to call a timeout here? No. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's a bouncer to Pena. He picks it up, fires over to first, and gets the out. 3 up and 3 down. That's 6 batters retired for Blanco. A fly out, a ground out, and 4 strikeouts. That's what I like to see. No hits so far for the Reds. 1 hit for the Astros. We're all goose eggs. Going into the bottom of the second. Do it for the Astros. The Astros. The Batman, Victor Caratini. He's batting 5th as the DH today. Neither Jordan nor Altuve are in the lineup. DeCenzo's batting 6th in left field. And then Myers batting 7th in center field. Brendan Rodgers is playing at second base today, batting 8th. And ending the lineup is Cam Smith, who's in right field. So if you look at this lineup, actually, I know that Altuve is not in the lineup, but we have, Pena. Diaz is not a slow guy. I mean, for a catcher, he's really fast. So, he's above average in speed. But Pena, DeCenzo, Myers. Rodgers isn't bad, but Cam Smith. We got at least 4 guys in this lineup right now that are fast. We've got a pretty fast lineup. With Altuve in there, we would have 5 guys who are pretty fast. Jordan says sometimes the pitch is too good and fools the ump. Yeah, and another thing, Jordan. Of course, I'm probably preaching to the choir here. I'm sure you know this, but there are times where the pitcher throws a strike. It's clearly a strike, but the catcher was set up on the opposite side of the plate, and he had to react quickly to get the ball, and he's not, because of all that action and the inability to frame it right, the umpire doesn't catch it. So it's a way to distract. It's something that distracts the umpire, right? I've seen that a lot. Here comes the first pitch to the Batman. He takes a whiff at it. 88 miles an hour on that pitch. 0-1. He calls timeout. He's going to take a timeout after the very first pitch. Caratini is back in the box. Here comes the pitch from Petty. Another swing and a miss on an identical pitch, 89 miles an hour, low and inside, 0-2. 2 swings, 2 hacks, 2 misses. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Petty. Whoa, way up high, 98 miles an hour. He brings the heat, but it's way off target. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jordan says, yeah, that too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off. Finally got a piece of it. That one was 89 miles an hour. Probably explains why he was able to get a piece of it, because he wasn't touching those inside pitches. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Whoa, way up and in. Almost clipped him in the face. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nothing feels better than getting clipped with a 97 mile per hour pitch. 2-2 against the Batman. Here comes the pitch by Petty. Swing and a miss. That was the same exact pitch, so he didn't really have to come up with anything new there. He got Caratini to swing and miss the exact same pitch 3 times. So if a batter is going to do that, why even try pitching anything else to him? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 1 away. Zach DeCenzo comes to the plate. You know, it's pretty interesting. The Astros have won 7 straight Mother's Day games. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I wonder if they'll say how many Father's Day games they've won. That ball was in the dirt, but Zach felt like golfing, so he went after it, strike 1. Oh, today's also DeCenzo's birthday. Pretty interesting. Here's the pitch. A little high, ball 1. Good take. 1-1 is the count. Jordan says, I like having a good pinch hitter for late in the game. Sure would be nice to have one. Takes that one low and away. Another good take. Ball 2. 2-1. How many pitches for Petty now? He's up to, this will be his 30th pitch of the game. They got him working a little bit. Here comes the next delivery. Way outside and low. Petty goes kicking the dirt around. Looks like he's blaming the dirt on the mound a little bit for his grievous errors, his heinous sins, his tomfoolery. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch to DeCenzo. Oh, DeCenzo tried to get that walk. He went to head for first base, but it did get the edge. Could have gone either way, but it did get the edge. Can't complain about that. Nice pitch by Petty. It was not a Petty pitch. Crowd is getting a little excited on this 3-2 count. They're wanting something good to happen. Kind of a lethargic cheering, but here's the pitch. Grounded foul. That was a 98 mile per hour pitch right in there. DeCenzo got around on it early. He was ready for the fastball. Just as long as he doesn't come around too early on a changeup. Another 3-2 pitch. 33rd pitch of the game for him. Look at that. Right in the top of the zone. That was a dangerous pitch to take, but the umpire laid off. Let's see if they're going to show it again, because, man, that was right there. I guess they're not. They're showing a commercial. DeCenzo goes to first base. We have a 1-out base runner. That's good. That's good. That's real good. All right, all right, all right. Jake Myers, Mr. Baseball's at the plate. The first pitch to him is on the way. That's low, 97 miles an hour. Good take by Jake. Good take, Jake. Jake the Rake. Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Dog. I'll just keep throwing around all the references. You guys get all those references? Here comes the 0-1 pitch, or I'm sorry, the 1-0 pitch. On the outside edge, 96 mile per hour sinker. 1-1. Trying to mix up how many pitches I'm showing. Like I said, I don't want to get any copyright issues, otherwise I'll have to block the video, and I don't want to do that. DeCenzo back at first base. Petty tosses it over there, but DeCenzo gets back, no problem. One out right now in the bottom of the second. DeCenzo on first. 1-1 count on Myers at the plate. Here's the pitch. A little check swing. Did he go? They say he did. Man. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not sure about that. They're going to show a replay? Yes. Here's the replay. Yeah, maybe he went around. Yep. It was hard to tell from the front, but it went out a little bit. Come on, Myers, you got to do better. 10-game hitting streak for Myers, his career long. If he gets a hit today, it'll be 11. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Long delay by Petty. In the dirt. Ball 2. Petty is using that pitch clock, man. I can't let the game be live streamed for that long, like the video. That's too long. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Myers. That next pitch is just a little high. Holy cow, that could have been strike 3. And now the count is full. Umpire calling it close. 39th pitch of the game coming. Petty getting close to 40 pitches. DeCenzo goes. Ball 4 to Jake. Doesn't matter. Similar to the last inning when Pena was stealing. Not a single base hit yet for the Astros in this inning, but they have 2 runners on. Shades of yesterday. Shades of yesterday, first inning. They're having a little powwow on the mound right now. Crowd is cheering for something. Carolina Reaper tacos at Dairy Queen. You know, when I was growing up, I don't think I ever had a taco at Dairy Queen. I just had the dude sandwich, and I had the country basket. Man, I miss those. Those are so delicious. You know, the country basket with the gravy. Get dipped the fries in the gravy. I would dip them in the ketchup and the gravy. That was good stuff. I'm sure it was very healthy too. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the tumor that I have right now. Brendan Rodgers is at the plate for the Astros. 2 runners on, 1 out. First and second. Here comes the pitch to Rodgers. He goes after the first one and misses it completely. 92-mile-per-hour slider in there for strike 1. Seven people following along. Thanks for being here. Why don't you share with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your buddies? Let them know. Send them over. Bring them over. That pitch is inside for ball 1. 1-1. Just about half an inch too far inside. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. After what's probably going to be a long delay from Petty, and it is. What a Petty delay. Swing and a miss. 1-2. I want to know, what was Rodgers, I almost said Brogers. What was Brendan Rodgers' best season in the MLB? What was it like? I'd like to see him do that again. Here comes a pitch. High and inside. Ball 2. The count is even. He definitely has some talent. I mean, he's got some home runs. He has little stints here and there where he gets hot, but he just hasn't done much in a while since that home run, even in right before it. Down and away in the dirt. Another full count for Chase Petty. That's what you get for chasing that pettiness. Can you guys believe that this next pitch will be the 45th pitch for Petty? And he only has 1 out right now here in the bottom of the second. He has thrown more pitches right now, I believe, than all of the pitches that McCullers threw yesterday in the first inning. Here comes the next rock toss. Swing and a miss. Rogers goes down on the 3-2 count. 96-mile-per-hour sinker on the inside. The crowd goes a little silent. Could have been ball 4. Got him to chase. And that brings up the 9th batter in the lineup, Cam Smith. Let's see if he's quick enough to make something happen here with the runners in scoring position, or at least one in scoring position. Here comes the first pitch. He goes after it and hits it high. Is it going to be in play? No, it sails into the crowd. Strike 1. Very low view count right now today. I thought that it would be a little higher. Just another reason, I guess, for me to not do the afternoon games. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That one was below the zone. 0-2. Astros might be about to strand 2 more base runners. That would be multiple in just 2 innings. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Petty to Smith. Long delay. Just watching it tick down. A little inside. Good take by Smith. One ball, 2 strikes. Man, Petty really milks that clock. DeCenzo gets a nice lead. Next pitch is way outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 49 pitches. This next one will be his 50th. He's going to average 25 pitches per inning. That's crazy. Next pitch to Cam is on the way. Swing and a miss. He got the strikeout, but the Astros are really making him work. But they haven't gotten anything from it. Astros are just shutting down. They get a couple of guys on and then completely shut down. 1 out, 2 on, shut down. 1 out, 2 on, shut down. First and second inning, onaji. Onaji in Japanese means the same. Onaji desu. It's the same. Nothing doing. So we go into the top of the 3rd. Scoreless. I feel like that's kind of the common thing. First couple of innings, no runs. Astros did manage to get 1 run yesterday. That was something in the first inning. And then in the 3rd inning, I believe, they scored 6. They went kind of crazy in that inning, and it seemed like they were going to come back. The closest they got before the end of the game was 4 runs. They really mounted an attempt to come back. The offense was clicking, but it wasn't enough. They just couldn't overcome that terrible first inning, that monstrous first inning that the Reds had, courtesy of McCullers and Von Way, primarily McCullers. 7 runs off him, 3 off of Von Way. That was a crazy, insane first inning. The last time the Reds put up that many runs on the Astros in 1 inning was back in like 1989. That's crazy. 36 years ago. 36 years ago they hung a lot of runs on the Astros in 1 inning. Whew, that's something I want to forget about, that game yesterday. That's nuts. 10 people. We got to double digits. 10 people following along. Thank you for being here. Make sure you leave a like on the channel. Almost at 10. Got 9 likes right now. First pitch is on the way, and it's in there to Jose Trevino. Oh, that was a second pitch. How did I miss the first one? The commercials went on too long. It's 2-0. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a foul ball out to the right field side. 2-1. Man, this MLB feed is just really messing with me. It ends too early and it starts too late. They really like their commercials. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Blanco. Fouled off again. And that evens the count. 2-2. Third pitch of the game for Blanco coming up in just a moment. The count is 2-2 to Trevino. Foul tip in the glove of Yainer Diaz, and that's another strikeout. Call that 5 strikeouts for Ronel Blanco in 2 1/3 inning. Me likey. All right. That was another 2-2 strikeout. 1 away. Next pitch is on the way, and it's in there for strike 1. 79-mile-per-hour curveball. He's facing Will Benson, a lefty. Here's the pitch. He fouls that one down the first baseline. Strike 2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Woo! Swing and a miss. How about that? Strikeout number 6 for Ronel Blanco. That's nuts. 6 of the 8 batters he's faced. K's. Man. That was an 0-2 strikeout. Didn't even give him a ball. TJ Friedl comes to the plate. Ooh, just a little high. I'm sorry, that's Espinal. I thought that was Friedl. I was wrong. Santiago Espinal. Just a little outside, maybe by a foot. Ball 2. That's hit in the air. Should be playable. Yes, Walker's over and he puts it out in foul territory. Out number 3. 6 strikeouts for Blanco. 9 up and 9 down. Not a single guy on base. Not a hit. Blanco has got it going on right now. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. This game is tied all goose eggs. Now we're back down to 5 listeners, watchers, 5 audience members, 5 guests. But we are at 10 likes on the live stream, so I appreciate you guys liking the live stream. It's much, much appreciated. So far, I think that concurrent viewers hasn't gone up over 10. I'm starting to wonder if the afternoon games, the afternoon weekday games, and even weekend games, are they just not ever really going to be popular unless it's close to the end of the season? The main reason I decided to do this game is because I just couldn't sleep, or rather I just wasn't sleepy, and I was working on some stuff. I did a lot of work on my YouTube channel. I was creating a lot of things and messing around, and just had some other things on my mind. Just didn't feel sleepy, so I thought, you know what, might as well go ahead and do the game. And here I am. But since there aren't many afternoon games and I want to improve my health, I would like to kind of go to bed at the same time every night. It would really help me out, I believe. All right, we are back. Petty's back on the mound. He's facing Jeremy Pena. Top of the batting order. Pena's 1 for 1. He had a line drive single his first at bat. First pitch to him is on the way in just a moment. Here it comes. Pena grounds it to De La Cruz, who scoops it up, Makes a lazy throw to first, but he barely gets him. Almost a little too lazy. De La Cruz needs to come in on those, man. He stays back and takes a bad hop. He could have come in, got a better hop, and got it over to first faster because Pena is fast. He's lucky that he got Pena there. Man, if I were a coach, I know that De La Cruz would give me headaches. Here's the next pitch to Paredes. That's in the dirt for ball 1. One and 0. Paredes lined out, a little soft liner his first bat. Let's see if he can do something a little better this time. Here's the pitch. Outside. Good takes so far. 2 balls and no strikes. Here comes a 2-0 pitch to Paredes. That's on the outside edge for strike 1, a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Or they're calling it a sinker. Okay. 2-1. Here's the pitch from Petty. Paredes goes hard on that one all the way out to the wall. It's going to be off the base of the wall, into the corner. He's in with a stand-up double. 1 out base runner on second base. Here we go again. This is the 3rd inning in a row that the Astros have put a guy on second base with 1 out. Let's see if we can actually drive him in this time. Nice stroke by Paredes all the way out into that corner by the Crawford boxes. And that brings up Christian Walker. Walker doesn't have a hit yet today. 1 walk, though. Christian Walker has a walk. Surprise, surprise. Here's the first pitch. That's a 1-hopper to the third baseman. He can't handle it. He stopped it, but he couldn't handle it. Walker's going to be safe at first base. Paredes will stay at second. Once again, the Astros have runners on first and second with 1 out, just like they did in the first and second inning. That's crazy. 1 hit this inning. That's 2 hits total. That brings up Yainer Diaz. Yainer grounded into a double play last time he was up, I think. Let's see if he can do something a little bit better this time. Here's the pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Batting .289 with runners in scoring position. That's not bad. Uh-oh, no. Yainer crushes this one into the Crawford boxes. As soon as he hit it, Chase Petty cursed the ground. He cursed the ground. He knew it was gone. 3-0 Astros. A Yainer bomb to the Crawford boxes. 1, 2, 3. Clear those bases, guys. Finally, the Astros bring in their runners here in the 3rd inning. Finally. 3rd hit of the game for the Astros and a big one for Yainer Diaz. He's a guy that needed it, that's for sure. Three hits for the Astros, 3 runs. That brings up the Batman Victor Caratini. Takes the first pitch high and outside for ball 1. Man, I lost a subscriber. I had 316, now I have 315. Where did they go? Here comes the next pitch to Caratini. Caratini hits that up the middle, might be playable. Oh no, nobody catches it. De La Cruz goes out. See, that's what I'm talking about. De La Cruz gets in the way of the left fielder. The left fielder has authority over that. Now he's like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, be quiet, De La Cruz. You always do stuff like that. That's what I said. If you're going to hit it to somebody, hit it to De La Cruz. Look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at him. He comes in, and then left fielder can't make the play. That's De La Cruz's fault. That's all De La Cruz. You can't run out there into left field and take that. But it's fine for me. That puts Victor Caratini on first base with 1 out. Astros have another base runner. Astros have 5 hits. Are they going to give Caratini a hit on that? Should have been an error. But it's okay. Give him a hit. Wheelbite says had 101 games. Oh, I'm sorry. You have another comment for that. You wondered about Rogers earlier. 2022 was his best season. When he got his gold glove, he had a positive 2024. His 2021 would have been his best. Career highs in OPS and homers, but he only had 101 games. My bad, 102. Okay, I didn't know that. What was his batting average, Wheelbite? Do you know? I'd look it up, but it's just too busy for me to call the game and do that at the same time. DeCenzo's at the plate, by the way. First pitch is on the way. That's right on the inside for strike 1. Caratini's on first base with 1 out. 1 strike to DeCenzo. He walked his last at bat on a full count. Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt and outside. Good take. Ball 1. Count is even. I want to get some like animations and stuff so whenever somebody hits a home run. I tried to get one today and I just couldn't get the AI to create something that I liked, so I didn't bring it in, but I could have used it right there with Yiner's bomb. Here's the 1-1 pitch to DeCenzo. Swing and a miss on an 86-mile-per-hour sweeper. I don't know if that was a good pitch or just a bad swing. Maybe both. 64th pitch of the game coming for Petty in just a moment. Here's the pitch to DeCenzo. Low and inside. Ball 2, and that evens the count. 95-mile-per-hour sinker missing the mark. Jeremy Pena relaxing on the bench there. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to DeCenzo. He swings and misses on a terrible slider outside. He goes down like an elementary school batter. Out number 2. Caratini remains on first, but the good news is Jake the Rake Snake Roberts comes to the plate. He needs his first hit to get that 11-game hit streak. He hits that one way high. Is it going to be playable? Yeah, that's maybe about 15 rows back. Altuve did tell the Astros that he was ready to go today if they wanted him in the game, but they decided to let him rest. Next pitch to Myers is in there on the outside edge for strike 2. 0-2. I haven't seen Myers with an 0-2 count in a while. He did that all the time last year, but first one I've seen this year in a while. He's been on fire. 0-2 pitch from Petty. Here it comes. Myers lets it go. Good take. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 296 batting average for the season for Myers. He's really tearing it up right now. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Below the zone. Good take. That was close, but a good take. Evens the count, 2-2. How about a Myers bomb right here? 69 pitches for Petty. The 70th is on the way in just a moment. Here's the toss. Woo, a little low and outside. He just missed that corner by about an inch. Risky, ballsy, gutsy take by Myers. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Caratini on first. Petty trying to figure out the master, Jake Myers. And here comes the full count pitch. Low and away, ball 4. Myers comes back from 0-2 to get the walk. Holy cow. You can't handle the Myers. Pretty interesting that the Reds used a ton of bullpen yesterday. Petty right now is about to throw his 72nd pitch of the game. Oh, that's hit over to the right side by Brendan Rodgers, and he grounds out really quickly the very first pitch before I can even get anything else out of my mouth. But Yainer Diaz puts the Astros up by 3 with that 3-run shot. That's the end of the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Astros leading by 3. 5 hits for the Stros, not a single hit yet for the Reds. Blanco has the no-hitter going. He hasn't even allowed a base runner so far. Let's take a look at the live chat and see what's going on. Wheelbite says 2021 batting average 284. That's pretty decent. 2022 266. That's average. 2023 258 average again. 2024 267 average. A lot of people blame some of his numbers on the Coors Field effect. Well, 284 is nothing to be ashamed of. I kind of have a benchmark for players. If they're hitting up at least 275, then they're definitely contributing to the team. But anything below that is, well, when you start to get below that, it's average. But below 250 is just, it's just too low. Now, that being said, let's take a look at the Astros batting averages in the lineup right now. Jeremy Pena has really brought his average up a ton, guys. He's batting 291 right now. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Paredes has also brought his batting average up. He's at 266. Walker, although he has struggled this year, he's now at 220, and he stayed below 200 for such a long time, so that's an improvement for him. Diaz is at 244. He has also brought his average up a lot. Caratini at 264. DeCenzo 262. These don't sound that great, but guys, a lot of these guys were under 200 earlier. They finally brought them up. 1-0 is the count to TJ Friedl. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Low. Ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Low and inside. 3 balls and no strikes on Friedl. Let's see what he does here. He's going to be taken. He is. And that's high. 4-pitch walk. That's the first base runner given up by Ronel Blanco, and it's on a 4-pitch walk. That's no good. Big difference. Maybe it was because of all the waiting he had to do for the Astros in the bottom of the third. Rogers' OPS has been 700 or higher since 2021, so he's struggling this year for sure. Oh, yeah. That's what I was wondering. I was wondering, is this average? If so, why would they trade for him, Little bunt over to the left side, barehanded by Paredes. He gets him at first base. Good play, but the runner advances to second. Paredes is just eating it up over there at third base. Take a look at that on the bunt. Really good bare hand grab and toss to first by Paredes. 1 away, runner on second. That brings up De La Cruz to the plate, batting left-handed against Ronel Blanco. Here comes the first toss. That one's hit really hard out to right field, but foul. He ripped that one. 79-mile-per-hour curveball. That's probably why he got around on it so early. He wasn't expecting anything that slow. 0-1. Here comes the pitch. That's in there for strike 2. Good pitch. 82-mile-per-hour changeup. So after getting behind in the count on the first batter, walking him on 4 pitches, now he's ahead 0-2 against De La Cruz. He struck out his last at bat. Checks his swing. Did he go around? Maybe not. He does that little dance again. The ball's inside. He does the Reds dance. Oh, it almost hit me. It almost hit me in the waist. Come on. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. De La Cruz goes down on the high fastball. 93, way out of the zone. Holy cow. 7 strikeouts for Blanco? Nuts. Take a look at this. 93. A good 10 inches out of the zone right there. Got him to go. That brings up Austin Hayes with 2 outs, runner on second. First pitch on the way. That one's also high, but Hayes does not swing. 1 ball. No strikes. Here comes the 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to Hayes. Hayes, swing at that. Don't let them go by. 50 pitches now for Blanco. Here comes the 51st. That one's hit way up in the air. It looks playable. He runs to first. Paredes is over there. He catches it in foul territory. There we go. 4 up and 3 down. The first unclean inning for Blanco, but no harm, no foul. Nobody scores. No hits still for the Reds. 1 walk. That's the best the Reds have been able to do. Just get a walk. And a fielder's choice to move him to second. But that is it. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Astros up 3-0. Let's see here. Will Bite says batting average is kind of like ERA. We used to care more about these numbers, but they're overshadowed by other sabermetrics like OPS and WHIP nowadays. Yeah, I know that there are a lot of statistics floating around nowadays, and the main things that I look at are based on the, because relievers, a lot of the relievers, they only come in for like 1 or 2 batters, or they only come in for 1 inning. That's it. That's all they're meant to do. And then you've got some guys that are kind of like workhorses. They're meant to try to stay in the game for extended periods. And I feel like those guys, depending on their role in the team, their ERA can matter a little more or a little less. It kind of depends. Score on the screen is still correct. I like how the eyes of my avatar are just going crazy. It's because the camera on I'm using the camera on my laptop. It's not my best camera, but I've already packed my nice camera because I'm moving. So, well, that's interesting. I just saw that Isaac Paredes has an on-base streak, 19 games. Pretty nuts. Cam Smith is at the plate. First pitch is on the way. He takes that one below the zone for ball 1. Good take. Chase Petty's still at the game. 74th pitch for him on the way in just a moment. Here it comes. Just a little inside for ball 2. Good take by Cam. 2 pitches missing 1 or 2 inches outside the zone. He did strike out his first at bat. Let's see if he can turn it around here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That's in there, an 89-mile-per-hour slider. Slides it right in there. 2-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, 91, low and inside. It doesn't look like Cam is going to be swinging at anything. He's just standing there. So not necessarily a good eye, just not swinging the bat. If he swings and strikes out here, I'm going to smack him. 2-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, that could have gone either way. Man, he's still not swinging. That right there should have been strike 3, but it's 3-2. He hasn't moved the bat at all yet. He's going to probably swing here. Let's see if he makes contact. We'll see. Here comes the pitch. Check swing, and he tapped it. Oh, man. Cam Smith, what are you doing, buddy? 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're going to have another full count. Looks like the Reds have action going in the bullpen. 79th pitch of the game coming for Petty. Here's the full count pitch. Oh, wow. Cam Smith does swing that time, and he punches it through for a single. A lead-off hit. That was a strike right there. He smacked that ball. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. Pena's 1 for 2 today. Here's the first pitch to Pena. Way outside and low for ball 1. They are showing an interview that they had with Pena about his mom. Okay, now we're back to the game. 1-0. Cam Smith on first base with no outs. Here's the pitch to Pena. Below the zone. Ball 2. Good takes by Pena. Still making Petty work. Petty up to 81 pitches now. Here comes the next one. 2-0. Woo, way inside and low. 3 balls and no strikes. This might be it for Petty if he walks Pena. They might not let him go beyond this. Yeah, they're making a call to the bullpen right now. 3 balls and no strikes to Pena. 83rd pitch coming from Petty in just a moment. And here it comes. Pena tries to walk to first base, but it's on the outside edge. Strike 1. 3-1. Cam Smith gets his lead off. Here's the pitch to Pena. Woo, man, that ball was barely in the top of the zone, but they called it a ball. That looked like a strike 2, but the umpire laid off. Man, I want to see that again. I'd like to show that to you guys. Paredes comes to the plate with runners on first and second, no outs. Astros with another opportunity here. The first, the second, the third, and the fourth, the Astros have had runners on first and second. This time with no outs. 3:53 with runners in scoring position. Here's the first pitch to Paredes. A little high, ball 1, good take. One ball, no strikes. Here comes the delivery. Little low below the zone. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Ball 2. Good hold up by Paredes. '87th pitch of the game coming for Petty. Fouled back by Paredes. He went after that one. 95 mile per hour fastball right in there. 2 balls and 1 strike. How many people are following the live stream now? Almost a dozen. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like the live stream. I'd appreciate it. 2 balls and 1 strike to Paredes. Here's the delivery. Down and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. He might be loading up the bases here. Pretty much guaranteed he won't be pitching to the next guy if he walks Paredes. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fouled back. Full count. Hey, we got a dozen now following along. Thanks for being here. Nice to have you. Old and new alike. Here comes the 3-2 in just a moment. Paredes is back in there. Steps into the box. And here comes the pitch from Petty. Way high, ball 4. He walked him. That's 6 walks by Petty. And that's going to be it. The head coach comes out. He's going to pull him. Suter, it looks like, is going to be coming out. It's going to be all she wrote for Petty. Sorry, dude. That's the way it goes. But, you know, they only got you for 3 runs. Assuming that, you know, the the reliever doesn't give up any runs, because you got 3 runs that you're responsible for. 3 runners on base. No outs with bases loaded. Astros in the 4th inning, the bottom of the 4th. Bases loaded. No outs. You guys want to take some bets? How many runs the Astros get this inning? Let's try something. Let's start a poll. Man, how many runs will the Astros get in the bottom of the 4th? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, or more. No. I meant to put. Let's do 3 or more. More. And 0. There we go. A little poll for you guys. How about that? Let's see what you think. All right. Now, let's see if I can figure out this pitcher's picture. I got to change the picture. The picture. I don't have a cute anime picture for this guy who's coming in the game. Suter. Do I have his regular picture, though? That's the question. Brent Suter. Yeah, I do. I sure do. He's about to deliver his first pitch. It's on the way to Christian Walker, way inside, ball 1. All right, there we go. The 1-0 pitch to Walker is on the way. Walker hits it really hard. It's going all the way out to the wall. It could be gone. No, it's just to the warning track, but the Astros will get a run. Cam Smith tags. Sacrifice fly. Not the first pitch. The second pitch. Astros 4-0. Runners remain on first and second. Sacrifice fly for Christian Walker. He gets a little bit of celebration in the dugout for putting it out there far enough. Diaz comes to the plate. He had a 3-run homer earlier. Now he's at the plate. He takes the first one in the dirt for ball 1. Good take. 1 away. Runners on first and second. All right, so they got at least 1. Let's see if we can get more. Here's the pitch. A little outside, ball 2. 0 has to be an option. Yeah, exactly, Jordan. That's why I changed it. That's exactly right. I hate to be cynical, but you're right. I agree. I had to put it on there. 2-0 against Yiner. Here's the pitch. Ooh, he ripped that one, but it's foul down the first base side. 2 balls and 1 strike to Yiner. Pena on second base. Paredes on first. Here comes the pitch. High and outside, 3-1. Might have bases loaded again. Come on, Yiner. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. Nope. Suter comes off the mound. Fakes a throw to second base. The crowd boos, as usual. Boo. It reminds me of The Princess Bride. Do you remember that scene where she's having the dream or whatever? Boo, boo. Here's the pitch. Fouled back by Yiner. I thought that was a line drive to center field for a second. Camera trickery. Full count. Boo, boo. I should have that GIF. I should get that GIF whenever they do that. I can show it. Here's the pitch. 3-2. Strike three. Swing and a miss on an 87 mile per hour four-seam fastball. Are you kidding me? An 87 mile per hour fastball and he couldn't get the bat on it? I'm not saying that I can easily hit an 89 mile per hour fastball. I'm just saying that he should be able to at least put the bat on it. Victor Caratini comes to the plate. He grounds the very first pitch to the third baseman. He throws it to second. That's for the third out. So just like that, the Astros end the inning. So they do manage to get one. They don't get zero. But I'm not surprised they only got one. Even though they had multiple opportunities, they only come away with one. So it is still kind of Astros style, right? We go to the top of the fifth. The Astros leading 4-0 over the Reds. 6 hits for the Stros so far. Jordan, you were optimistic. You said 2. I was concerned that they wouldn't even get one. But they did. They got one. That's all they got was one. Just one. Oh, man. Good old Stros, right? Good old Stros. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that song that I made, there's a video that I have on my channel called We Are Champions. I actually wrote most all of those lyrics, and I put some things in there specifically that I associate with the Stros. And one of those things he sings is that it's tough sometimes to be an Astros fan. To be an Astros fan is tough sometimes. It just is. Ever since I was a kid. I'm 50. Ever since I was a kid until now, nothing has changed. Of course there have been good times, but there has been so much heartache over the years. The Astros finally broke out and were able to do something. Sadly, the Oilers were never able to do that. They didn't have the opportunity to do that before they left Houston. That really crushed me. That really, really hurt me a lot when the Oilers left. It really did. Wilbite says none of us were correct on the poll. Really? That's funny. All right, Blanco's first pitch to... Is that Friedel? No, Lux. Gavin Lux is a strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. A little low, ball 1. 1-1. Here's the next pitch. That one's hit to the right side. Line drive caught by Christian Walker. We've got ourselves guys on the corners in the infield that have vacuum cleaner gloves. That would be Christian Walker and Isaac Paredes. That's for sure. Next batter, right in there, 85 mile per hour pitch to Spencer Steer. 0-1. 56th pitch coming for Blanco. Ooh, just barely misses on that outside edge. The count's even, 1-1. Spencer Steer 0 for 1 with a ground out. Looks like he hits that one pretty well out to the left field. DeCenzo slides, can't get it. It bounces into the corner. That's going to be extra bases for sure. Steer goes into second standing up. Good effort by DeCenzo to try to catch it. Just couldn't come up with it. First hit on Blanco. Tough. Take a look at this again. Look at DeCenzo try to make this grab. Yeah, he just slid a little too early. He almost got it. Good effort. Yeah, he just slid too early. That brings up Jose Trevino. He's got a runner on second with 1 out. He grounds it back to the mound. Blanco grabs it, throws it first. Out number 2. Runner moves over to third. Kind of sad that Blanco didn't get that catch. That would have been out number 3 right there. He would have been through 5 innings with a no-hitter. Will Benson is at the plate. His last at-bat was a strikeout like many of the Reds. Here's the first pitch to him. 79 miles an hour, high for ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. That one is in there. 86 mile per hour slider. Strike 1. The count is even. Runner on third. 60 pitches now for Blanco. 1-1 is the count with 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch. That one's hit hard to left field, and it's going to go out of play for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Blanco is too much for Will Benson. Here comes the pitch. That one's hit hard to center field. Looks like Myers is going to be right underneath it, and he is. Mr. Baseball puts it away. Blanco has a 1-hitter going through 5 and a complete shutout of the Cincinnati Reds right now. Astros up 4-0 going into the bottom of the 5th. Runner on third gets stranded. Zach DeCenzo is due up in just a moment, followed by Jake Myers and Brendan Rodgers. Let's see here. 8 people following along. Thanks for being here. It feels nice to have some people here and for the Astros to be winning. It sucks to do the middle of the night games and have a bad result. Let's see here. So how many runs will the Astros get in the bottom of the 4th? 60% said 3 or more. Wow, that's really optimistic. 40% said 2. Nobody said 1 or 0. That's crazy. If I had guessed, I don't think I actually guessed, but I would have guessed 1 or 0. Now I'm a little more positive, so I would have said 1 more than likely, because, you know, as much as I think they'll probably get nothing, I want to make it a little more positive, so I'd give them at least 1. But I don't believe I actually took a guess. I was hoping they would get at least 2 out of that. But once again, I'm not surprised they only came away with 1. But 1 is better than none, right? 1 is better than none. It looks like I've got a dozen likes on the video. Is that right? Let me reload it and see if there are more. Yeah, just a dozen, but still, that's good for a slow game like this. That's not bad. A dozen likes on the live stream. I appreciate it, guys. Very soon, I'm going to start reaching out to some businesses in Houston and see about sponsorships. If I can get some of those, I can put those on the screen, and then I can remove or keep any advertisements off my screen. I don't want to bother you guys with advertisements. DeCenzo is at the plate. Brent Suter still on the mound. First strike is, or first pitch is in there for a strike, rather. The first strike is in there, of course. 0-1 is the count. No, Scott Barlow is in the game now. Scott Barlow. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off for strike 2. I believe I've got the old Scott Barlow image in my folder, actually. Yes, I do. Not an anime image, of course, but close enough. Here's the 0-2 pitch to DeCenzo. Check swing, did he go? They say he didn't. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Six hits for the Astros, 4 runs. Are the Astros going to get 2 more guys on base again this inning? Let's see. They did it every single inning so far. Outside. Counts even. 2-2. DeCenzo does have a walk today, looking for a hit. He hits that one high. It might be playable. And nope, it sails into the crowd. Count remains 2-2. DeCenzo is due for a homer. Yeah, it's been too long. He only has 1. He's overdue for sure. Like a volcano overdue for eruption. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He's not going to get it there. 93 up and in. DeCenzo goes down with a strikeout. That's 2 strikeouts for DeCenzo today. And that brings up Jake the Man Myers. Jake the Snake. First pitch on the way. Little outside. Good take. Ball 1. Two walks for Myers. He's looking for another hit to extend his hitting streak. That one's out into the right field area, but foul. Into the stands, rather. Course foul, but into the stands, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the delivery. Up the middle, broken bat. The second baseman grabs it, fires over to first, just barely gets him. So Myers is not able to get on base this time. 2 up and 2 down for the Astros. This is the first time that the Astros have not had 2 runners on base with 1 out or less. First inning. This has happened. Strikeout and a ground out for Brendan Rodgers, who's at the plate right now. First pitch from Barlow's on the way. In the dirt for ball 1. Ten pitches now for Barlow. 1-0 against Rodgers. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Evens the count, 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Rodgers hits that one pretty hard out to right field, but it has too much air underneath it, and that's going to be put away for out number 3. That's it. Scott Barlow comes in and does his job for the Reds. Puts the Astros away 1-2-3. That's the first 1-2-3 inning the Reds have had for the Astros. Pretty crazy. We go to the top of the 6th. Astros leading 4-0. Got the 1-hit shutout going for Ronel Blanco. Blanco at 62 pitches right now. Averaging around 12 pitches per inning. Just slightly more. maybe 12.25 or something like that. 12.3 pitches per inning. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not phenomenal, but not bad. 15 pitches per inning would be too high. I think 12 is decent. It's good. And of course 10 or less is ideal. For a pitcher who wants to try to go 9 innings, that is. Pitching 12 per inning is difficult. You can do the math on that. If you're talking about doing 12 pitches per inning all the way through 9, you'd be close to 110 pitches. It'd be 108, right? Difficult to do 108 pitches. Hey, BitDog, welcome back. It's good to see you. Doing much better today. Loving it. Thanks for being here. It's nice to see you. Yeah, we're doing much better today. The Astros have had runners on first and second every single inning except for the 5th. So they failed to bring them in the first and second, but Yainer Diaz hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd. And then in the 4th, they had bases loaded, and they were able to get a fielder's choice. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't a fielder's choice. It was a sacrifice fly by Christian Walker to get another run in. Blanco's back on the mound, and he's facing Santiago Espinal. First pitch is right in the middle of the zone for strike 1. A nice fastball. Here comes the next pitch. Ooh, he almost got him to go around. A little outside on that fastball. Count is even, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one's hit pretty hard out to left field. Oh, it's going to die. Vincenzo comes in and grabs it. 1 away. It's nice to see Blanco doing so well today. He's now through 5 1/3 inning with 1 hit, no runs. He's only had 1 guy on base. That brings up TJ Friedel. First pitch to him is right in the top of the zone. Good pitch. Change up for strike 1. Here's the next delivery. Man, in there again. A curveball this time. Strike 2. 0-2 just like that to TJ Friedel. 68th pitch of the game coming from Blanco in just a moment. It's on the way. Swing and a miss. He gets another strikeout. How do you like that? An 85-mile-per-hour changeup. Blanco is all over this game right now. 2 away. Man. Matt McLean is at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Low and away, ball 1. Here's the next pitch. That's in there. 85-mile-per-hour slider. And he slides it right in there. The count is even, 1-1. Here comes the delivery. Swing and a miss. Another one on that outside lowered corner. Got him to go, and he couldn't get on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The crowd should be making some noise right now. They're very quiet. They're not doing anything. There are 2 outs, and it's 1-2. Come on. Get on your feet. Make some noise. Come on. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He calls it strike 3. Another strikeout. 9 strikeouts for Ronel Blanco. How do you like that? See if we can take another look at it right there. Top of the zone. Could have gone either way. It was close, but he got it. He matches his career high 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. Man. Blanco's on fire right now. 1 hit, 1 runner on base. Shutout. Oof. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Astros up 4-0. We've got the minimal number of runs that we need to win a game, which is 4. We've got those on the board already. And we've got the pitching going like the Astros can do. This is the kind of game, this is the way the game should start for the Astros in the first several innings. Should be 4-0. Astros winning. Jordan says hard not to do better than 10-0 in the first. Well, you know, the Astros might say, hold my beer. You never know. But I don't think they're going to do that this game. Blanco is really not only doing a good job, but because of his pitching, he's really, really doing the Astros bullpen a big favor by pitching like this. The longer he stays in the game, the better it is for the bullpen. Because the Astros used a lot of guys yesterday, and they're a little thin. Did you know that they actually flew Dubin in? He was in Utah with their minor league team, and they actually put him on a plane and flew him to Houston for this game. They might not even need him. All right, guys. Looks like Cam Smith is at the plate. First pitch from Scott Barlow's on the way, and it's in the dirt. 1-0. That's a good way to start. Cam Smith does have a single today and a run. Here comes the next pitch. That one's also in the dirt. 2 good takes by Cam. 2-0. Next pitch on the way from Barlow. And here it comes. Hit hard to right field. It might be down, and it is. It bounces right in front of the glove of the right fielder. Smith. 2 hits in a row. Good effort by the right fielder, but he just couldn't get there. If he had missed it, Cam would have gotten to second for sure. Good hit by Cam Smith. 2 hits on the day. Lead-off hit. The Astros have a runner on with no outs. That brings up Jeremy Pena. First pitch almost clips Pena on the thigh. Ball 1. Line drive single and a walk today for Pena. Here comes the next pitch. Outside and low. 2 balls and no strikes. Smith gets a lead at first base. Barlow comes set. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Just a little inside, but the umpire liked it. Strike 1. That one, whoo, that was close. Barlow goes over to first base, but Smith is back. Boo! Boo! I love it. 19th pitch coming for Barlow in just a moment. 7 hits for the Astros. Will Pena make it 8? He hits that one to the shortstop De La Cruz, who makes a terrible throw to second. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. De La error. De La error, man. I'm telling you. Terrible throw. They didn't even get 1 out because of De La Cruz there. Look at this. He throws it to second in the dirt. Look at that. They didn't even get 1 out. Why? Because De La error. I've said it so many times and I'll say it again. De La Cruz is an error-making machine. I would not have him at shortstop. He's just not cut out for it. I've never seen him perform well in that position. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate with 2 runners on. The first pitch is in the bottom part of the zone. I thought it was a strike. Wow, they call it a ball. I'm shocked. I was about to call it a strike. It's okay. 20 pitches for Barlow now. Goodness gracious me. Heavens alive. Next pitch is in the dirt for ball 2, 2-0. Christian Walker on deck. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Paredes. That's inside, but in the zone for strike 1. 2-1. Astros on first and second with no outs. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Paredes. Ooh, that was kind of dirty. Paredes didn't like that too much. It was close, low and away, but umpire called it, and the count is now even. Man, he did him dirty. Paredes decides to call timeout. Step out of the box. Paredes having a really good time this year with runners in scoring position. He's got the old Mother's Day pink bat going. Here's the 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Blocked by the catcher. Runners do not advance. Good stop. The count is full. 3-2. Another opportunity for the Astros to have bases loaded here with no outs. Can you believe that? Second time this game if it happens. They only got 1 run last time. Maybe they can capitalize on it this time. Full count on Paredes. Hit me something, mister. Here comes the full count pitch from Barlow. A little outside, ball 4. Heck yes. Good take. Couple inches out of the zone. We have bases loaded again with no outs. Second time this game. And who is up? None other but Christian Walker, Mr. Crawford Box himself. Now last time Christian Walker came up with runners on like this, he hit it far out there and got the... Oh, they're not going to let Barlow pitch? The coach is talking to him. Is he going to pull him out? Yeah, he wanted to chat with him first, though. So they are going to pull him out. That's it for Barlow. Sorry, dude. They're going to have a new pitcher for Christian Walker. But Christian Walker did have a sacrifice fly earlier. So this is a familiar situation for him. Bottom of the 6th, bases loaded for the Astros. No outs. Jordan, you want me to do the poll again? Let's do the same poll again. Okay. Bases loaded again. Okay. No runs. 1 run. 2 runs. 3 or more runs. Okay. There we go. That's what we're going with. I think that's fair. I almost said 4. Well, you can go with 3 or more. You're going to go with 2 again? I think I'll take a guess this time, all right? I'm going to take a guess this time. I'm going to say 3 runs. I'm going to be very positive. 3. Now, I could say 3 or more because that's the option, but I'm going to go with 3 exactly. I personally am going to say 3 runs. But you know, if they get 3 or more, I still win, right? But I think they will get exactly 3 runs. I'm feeling positive. It's going to be 7-0 at the end of this inning. That's my guess. That's my official guess. Maybe I should put it in the chat just to be official. Okay. My guess, 3 runs exactly. Astros 7, Reds 0. There we go. I'm just making it official. But 0 if I had to bet real money. Jordan, you're hilarious. Too real. Walker is at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Just a little outside, ball 1. Who's pitching now for the Reds? Taylor Rogers. Taylor Rogers. Do I have him in my folder? I should. I don't. Well, I'm going to have to try to get his picture. Here's the next pitch. That one just clips the edge of the zone. It was up and out just a little bit, but it got there. 1-1 is the count. Let's see. This is exciting. Let's see who gets it right in the Astros run roulette. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside. Almost clipped him. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike to Christian Walker. Bases loaded, no outs, guys. Here's the pitch. Uh-oh, right up the middle. That's going to score 2 runs. 2 runs. Christian Walker does it. 2-run score. Pena and Cam Smith. No outs, runners on first and second. There are 2 of them. Astros 6-0. Heck yes. No outs still. Let's take another look at that. Right up the middle for Christian Walker, right in the gap. Perfectly hit. Walker with 3 RBIs today. Heck yes. Just need 1 more and I'll be right. Got a good chance of doing it. Diaz is at the plate, takes the first pitch high for ball 1. One and oh. No, I'm sorry. Brendan Rodgers is at the... No, that's Diaz. Yeah, they had the wrong information on the screen. MLB screen here had Brendan Rodgers information on the screen, but that's Yainer Diaz. 1-1 with that foul ball to Diaz. Runners on first and second with no outs. Here comes the pitch from Taylor Rogers. Ooh, that's a strike on the inside edge. That was a good pitch. Yainer, what are you doing? A 93-mile-per-hour sinker. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Yainer, you can't let me down. I need 1 more run. Here's the pitch. Ooh, too far inside. Did he go? Ooh, he got lucky there. They say he did not go. Counts even, 2-2. Heck, let's score 4 runs this inning. Bit Dog, I'm with you. I'd like a lot more. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Uh-oh, Yainer goes out to left field. It's not deep enough. Runners can't tag. Man, just for a moment I thought that was going to the Crawford boxes, but he didn't hit it hard enough. Out number 1. Womp womp. Well, we got 2 more outs to do something. Just need 1. Come on, Mr. Batman. Caratini batting right-handed right now. If anybody can do it, it's the Batman. Victor Caratini himself. He does have a single and a fielder's choice today. That's in there. 94 on the inside edge. He wasn't ready for that inside pitch. Strike 1. Come on, Caratini. I just need 1 run and I'll be right. Come on. Help me out here. Help a brother out. Here's the pitch. Fouls it off. Well, he's trying. But Batman doesn't try. Batman does or does not. And right now, I need you to does. 0-2. Runners on first and second. 1 out. You are not Robin. You are the Batman. Show us why. 2 home runs for Caratini this year. Let's make it a nice even 3. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Oh, he hits it off of his foot. He goes down. That doesn't look good. He's still down on the ground. Let's see where he hit himself. Ooh, right off the knee. Ouch. That's no good, especially for a guy who catches. Trainer is out checking on him right now. We don't need that to happen. Sorry. Couldn't help myself. Yeah, Caratini's kind of limping around a little bit. He might not be able to continue at the plate. We'll see. That is true, by the way. Caratini is the DH today. It looks like he's going to stay in the game. All right, man. Just got to hit the ball. Don't need you to run. You can sit back and relax and not run, but you need to get a hit. Just to get a nice little hit into the outfield. That's all. That's all we need. All right, 0-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Rogers. Ooh, he gave that one a rip. Right into the dugout and broke his bat. So first he hurts his leg, then he breaks his bat. That's why they call him the Batman. It's because he's a bat breaker. Watching. I got the baker's dozen. Thank you for being here. Make sure you leave a like on the live stream for me if you don't mind. If you haven't joined, feel free to sub. Here comes the pitch to Caratini, the 0-2 pitch. Ooh, inside almost clipped him, man. This pitcher is trying every which way to hit Caratini, isn't he? Break his bat, break his knee, try to clip his leg. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. He rips that one almost right down the line there. Just foul. He's threatening. 1-2 strikes. The count remains. Taylor Rogers is now up to 15 pitches. Astros continue to make the Reds pitchers work. Here comes a 1-2 delivery. He finally got him a strikeout. 93 right in the middle of the plate. The Batman goes down like Robin. 2 away. Come on, guys. Runners on first and second. We need one more hit. Zach DeCenzo is my last chance here. My last hope to get that third run. I was very optimistic. I said they'd get 3 runs this inning. Come on now. Here's the first pitch to DeCenzo. Somehow called a strike by the umpire. About an inch out of the zone. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch from Rogers. DeCenzo takes that inside for a ball. Good take. A couple of inches in. Glad the umpire realized that was not a strike. Counts even, 1-1. Next pitch coming in just a moment. And it's on the way. Grounded foul right in the middle of the plate. A sweeper at 78 miles an hour. DeCenzo around on it way too early. Now he's behind in the count, 1-2. The 20th pitch of the inning coming up for Rogers in just a moment. Here it comes. Strike 3. Astros let me down. But they do get a couple of runs, so hey, that's better. Better than nothing, right? I guessed 3. I was 1 off. But the Astros are up 6-0 with 8 hits. The Reds have just 1 hit, no runs, 1 error. They actually have more errors than they do runs. How about that? So we can end the poll here. Let's see here. 2 runs. Hey, it looks like you guys were all right. 2 runs was correct. Good job. I was overly optimistic. Before I was cautiously optimistic. This time I was overly optimistic. By just 1 run. But still, it's nice to see the Astros up 6-0, right? Going into the top of the 7th. Me likey. Blanco is at 72 pitches. You know, if he does good this inning, we might see him in the 8th. Can you imagine? If he does really, really good, we could see him do a complete game. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. 72 pitches. If he could get through the next 3 innings, let's see, maybe 9 pitches, 10 pitches. in each inning, he could reasonably have a complete game. Blanco can throw 100 pitches. It's very possible. He's going to be facing Ellie De La Cruz, who's 0 for 2 today. He's got some strikeouts. First pitch to De La Cruz is incoming. Right on that outside lower corner. Good pitch by Blanco. Strike one. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next delivery. Ooh, a swing and a miss. 0-2 just like that on De La Cruz. De La Cruz is not having a good day. Committing errors, bad throws, and striking out. Man, here comes the 0-2 pitch. And he somehow gets a hold of that one. He bounces it to Rennell, who just lobs it over to first. Easy out. Ground out to the pitcher. Poor De La Cruz. 1 out. Next batter is Austin Hayes. First pitch on the way. That's a strike. Four-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour. Strikeout and a pop-out for Austin Hayes today. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Low and away. Count is 1-1. Bit Dog says De La Cruz has more errors than hits. Yes, that's true. De La Cruz alone has more errors than he does hits. Two balls and one strike on that pitch to Austin Hayes. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss, an 86-mile-per-hour slider, and he just slides it right past him. The count is even, 2-2. If he gets a strikeout here, it's going to be a career high. He's never had 10. I think he's going to get it, though. He's only at 79 pitches. He can do it. Come on, Blanco. You can do it. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. He did it, guys. Rennell Blanco with 10 strikeouts. Yesterday, the Reds were owning the Astros in the first inning, just owning McCullers, but today Blanco is owning the Reds. He's getting revenge. Career high, 10 punch outs. First pitch to Gavin Lux, another strike. A four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs, no runners on. Here's the pitch. Wow, that one he lost control of. Low and inside, almost hit him. Ball 1. Fly out and a line out for Lux. Here's the pitch, the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, low and inside. Beautiful pitch. Man. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He might get himself another strikeout here. That'd be 11. Goodness gracious me. Heavens alive. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Ooh, just a little outside by a few inches. Counts even, 2-2. Poll, how many Ks will Blanco end up with? I say 12. It's not a bad question. I'll try to get that in there. Fouled off down the left field line and out of play. If he gets this batter, I'll put that poll up. Here comes the pitch. That's grounded to the second baseman, rather. Rogers, he throws it over and gets the 3rd out. Another easy inning there. We call it easy, but it's work for Blanco. 1 hit shutout through 7 innings. 7th inning stretch going on right now. Man, what a good performance by Blanco through 7 innings. We go into the bottom of the 7th. Astros up 6-0. So let's take a look at Blanco's pitch count. His pitch count is around, what, 80 or so? Let me take a look, see if I can see it. Yeah. I don't see it on the screen now. But we can do that. Let me see about putting that in the chat. Oh yeah, happy Mother's Day to all of you guys and your moms. How many total Ks will Blanco end with? Okay, right now he's got what? 10? 11, 12, 13. Okay, I can't see him getting more than that, right? Let's do 13 plus, okay? There we go. How about that? Just in case, you never know. You know, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. 86 pitches. Okay. More than likely, if they let him come in the next inning, he has an opportunity to pick up a couple more. But he's going to have a really... I don't know. If he strikes out 3 guys, he's going to need at least 9 pitches. That puts him at 95 if he has a perfect inning. And with 95 pitches, are they going to bring him back in the 9th? Probably not. So I think we got him covered. We don't know yet if they're going to pull him out. I don't think they had anybody going in the bullpen. At least I didn't see anybody going in the bullpen. Didn't hear about anybody going in the bullpen. We'll find out soon enough. Jake Myers is due up. He has his 10-game hitting streak, his longest in his career, or the longest in his career. If he gets another hit right now, that'll be 11. He doesn't yet have a hit today, so he needs one. He'll be followed by Brendan Rodgers and then Cam Smith. All right. First pitch to Jake Myers is outside, ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Ooh, wow. That could have been a strike on the inside edge, but called a ball. 2-0 to Jake Myers. Taylor Rogers still on the mound. Here's the pitch. Low in the zone, but called strike 1. 2-1. Come on, Myers. Keep that hit streak alive, man. Here comes the 2-1. This is hit up the middle. It should be playable. Right fielder is over. Benson has got it. So that hit streak is most likely dead for Myers, unfortunately. One away. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Brendan Rodgers comes to the plate. Rodgers still without a hit today. First pitch on the way, right in there. 94 miles an hour right down the pipe. You're not going to get a hit doing that. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He bounces out and foul, and he's in the hole. 0-2. Here comes 0-2 pitch to Rodgers. Oh, Rogers got himself a hit right up the middle. Nice, easy swing. How about that? First hit for Rogers this game. And every Astro has been on base in this game. Not every Astro has a hit, but every Astro has been on base. So that's good. Who doesn't have a hit in this lineup right now? DeCenzo, that's surprising, and Myers, double surprising. Cam Smith comes to the plate. That first pitch is in there for strike one. 78-mile-per-hour sweeper. Next pitch on the way in just a moment from Taylor Rogers. And here it comes. That's also in there, a 79-mile-per-hour pitch. Cam Smith just standing there taking strikes right now. 2 singles for him today. He calls a timeout. No balls, 2 strikes. The 30th pitch for Rogers on the way to Cam Smith. Check swing, did he go? They say no. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Too far inside. One and 2 pitch from Rogers on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cam Smith quietly goes down as the crowd makes absolutely no noise. Out number 2, Brendan Rogers stays on first base as Jeremy Pena, the top of the batting order, comes up. One for 3 today is Pena. Here comes the first pitch. 78-mile-per-hour sweeper right in the top of the zone for strike 1. A single, a walk, and a run for Pena today. Here comes the next pitch. Too far inside. It's even, 1-1. Bit Dog says, yeah, just hit to De La Cruz and you'll end up on base. A lot of times you will. If you hit it hard, it's difficult for him to handle it. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Strike 2, 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Pena fouls it back. Count remains 1 and 2. Got a dozen people watching. I don't think I've had more than about a baker's dozen watching simultaneously on this particular live stream. A little slow today, but I do have 15 likes. I appreciate that, guys. If you have not liked the live stream, please do so. That pitch is high. Ball 2. Two and 2 pitch to Pena is coming in just a moment. Here it comes. Fouled off again. Count remains 2 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Pena. Ground ball to the second baseman. He goes over to first and gets Pena for out number 3. That's going to be it. Blanco is running back out to the mound. He's going to be out there for the 8th inning. Let's see if he can get some more strikeouts. There is a poll in the live chat if you guys want to take a guess at how many strikeouts Blanco will get in this game. Right now he has 10, okay? He has 10 strikeouts. Top of the 8th. Astros leading 6-0. Blanco has a one-hitter going through 7 innings. He's sitting on 10 strikeouts right now, and in the live chat there is a poll. How many strikeouts do you think Blanco will get to end the game? 10 where he's at now, 11, 12, or 13 plus. Now, if he gets 3 strikeouts this inning, he'll have 13. So, just to let you know, if for some reason he pitches 9 pitches in this inning and gets 3 strikeouts, and they let him come back in for the 9th, that would be shocking. It's highly unlikely. I would imagine that the chances of that are probably less than 0.0001%. But you never know. Spencer Steer is due up for the Reds. He's 1 for 2 today. He's the only Red with a hit. First pitch to him is on the way. Ooh, right in the top of the zone, but called a ball. So much for the 9 strikes in a row, huh? Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss, low and outside. Nice slider. 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Right in the zone, fouled away. Strike 2. Might get another strikeout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. '90th pitch on the way for Blanco. He taps that one right in front of the plate. Diaz grabs it, throws to first for out number 1. So he doesn't get the strikeout there, but he gets the out. 1 away. Okay, so at least in this inning, the most he can get is 12 strikeouts. Right now, the poll says 33%. Okay, one of you says 10, one of you says 11, one of you says 12. First pitch to Jose Trevino is way up high, way upstairs, ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. Check swing, did he go? They say no, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Here's the delivery. That one's hit hard right down the line. That's going to be another hit all the way to the wall. That's going to be a double for sure. Jose Trevino is into second. Ten doubles for this guy in 87 at-bats. Blanco just kind of hung that one over the plate. He was kind of asking for it right there. Just in the perfect spot. Hit it in the right spot. Walker wasn't there. And the bullpen is going right now. Diaz is going to buy them some time by having a little chit-chat with Blanco. Brian King, the man, is going. 1 out, runner on second. 2-hitter now for Blanco. Likely not going to be going into the 9th inning. Let's see if he can get at least 1 more strikeout. Will Benson comes to the plate with a runner on second. Here comes the pitch. Low and inside. In the dirt. Ball 1. A strikeout and a line out for Will Benson today. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's in there. Ground ball just foul down the first base line. Count is 1-1. One pitch Coming in just a moment. Here it is. Just a little high, maybe missed by an inch or two. 2-1 is the count. Ryan Gusto, they are chit-chatting about him right now. It looks like he's going to be on the mound for the Astros tomorrow. Here's the 2-1 pitch, grounded up the middle. Pena's right there, fires over to first to get the out, but the runner moves to third. Two away, runner in. I try to say in and on at the same time, guys. My prepositions are getting mixed up. Santiago Espinal swings at the first pitch, fouls it off for strike one. Another opportunity for a strikeout here for Blanco. Runner on third with 2 away. A foul out and a fly out for Espinal. He's ripe for the picking. He hits this one out of play. There we go, 0-2. We might have our 11th strikeout victim right here. The crowd finally starts to make some noise. This will be the 100th pitch for Blanco. It would be nice to get the strikeout, and here it comes. Ooh, foul tipped, but not caught by Diaz. Bounces to the backstop. The count remains 0-2. 100 pitches for him now. They're cheering again, looking for that strikeout. Man, I think if he gets the strikeout here, that will be awesome. Here we go. Strike three, did he go around? They say, yes, he did. Heck yes, he got it, guys. He got the strikeout. Ronel Blanco with 11 strikeouts. 8 shutout innings for Blanco. 8 shutout innings, only 2 hits. A 2-hitter through 8 innings. Good job. Man, I'm so glad to see Blanco get that. You know, he's been kind of up and down a little bit this season. And to see him get 8 shutout innings, how awesome is that? Strands a runner on third. Astros still up 6-0. And another opportunity to get some insurance runs right here. Could always use more runs. More is always welcome. Still got the baker's dozen watching the live stream right now. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I picked up another subscriber, the 316th subscriber I lost. I got it back. I got that subscriber back. Whoever you are, thanks for joining. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll because there's no way Blanco is coming back in the 9th. He's at 100 and what? 101, 102 pitches. Yeah, he's done for the night. Probably going to see... No, I don't know. Brian King, I don't think we've seen him in the 9th inning. Might not have Brian King on the mound, but I'd like to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him on the mound. I like him. But let's see here. How many total Ks will Blanco end with? 50% of you said 11. And the others said 10 and 12. So half of you were right. Half of you were right. 9 hits for the Astros today and 6 runs. Pretty good run efficiency. Unfortunately, they've stranded a lot of runners on base. The first inning, the second inning, the third inning, the fourth inning, they had runners on first and second. All of those innings with 1 out or less. And only in 2 of those innings did they score runs. But Christian Walker is at... No, I'm sorry. Isaac Paredes is at the plate. He takes the first one way outside for ball 1. Oh, Leon Richardson is in for the Reds. Pretty sure that I have his picture, and I do. I'll change it on the screen right quick. Isak fouls that one off. Strike one, the count is even, 1-1. One for two today with a double. 2 walks, 1 run scored for Paredes. 95 right in the middle of the zone. Strike two. Well, they got Sean Dubin in the bullpen. Josh Hader is running around and warming up, but Dubin is actually pitching. It looks like Dubin will be in. They flew him in just for this game. That ball is outside in the dirt for ball 2. That's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Paredes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Low. Ball 3. Full count. Whew. Excuse me. Sneezing suddenly. Paredes goes down swinging there. Strike 3, out number 1. Ooh, I'm glad I muted the microphone on that sneeze. That one was pretty loud. 1 away. Christian Walker comes to the plate. Here comes the first pitch to Walker. Way outside. Ball 1. Two for two today with a walk, 3 RBIs, a run, swing and a miss there. Strike 1. Nice changeup by Richardson. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch to Walker. A little high, 96. Ball 2. 2-1. Something going on in Dyking Park right now. The crowd is cheering, but I don't think it's for Christian Walker. There's nothing really going on at the plate right now. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that nicked him at the plate. Looks like. Didn't get him hard, but got him enough. Astros have a 1-out base runner. Take a look at that. Yeah, just barely got his arm. Nothing painful, thankfully. If you're going to get hit, that's the way to do it. Yiner comes to the plate with a runner on with 1 out. He's got himself some RBIs with a big hit. This one goes to short. De La Cruz actually gets it. He takes a slow throw. Once again, De La Cruz messes up with a slow flip to second. And Yiner makes it to first. Man, De La Cruz, he's just something else. Take a look at this. Really slow lob to second base. Makes it impossible to get the double play. He's got to be the worst shortstop in MLB. I've never seen anybody that bad. That brings up the Batman Victor Caratini, runner on first with 2 outs. Whoa. Caratini just got nailed. So earlier, Caratini fouled it off of his leg and he hurt himself pretty bad. And this time he gets beamed on his other leg. Really hard. Take a look at that. Wow. Richardson really didn't like that. He was very upset. He turned around immediately. Let's see where it hit him. Right on his foot. Man, Caratini's poor legs today. What is the deal? Runners on first and second. Chas McCormick is batting. He's pinch hitting. For Zach DeCenzo. First pitch is out of the zone for ball 1. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge, strike 1. That evens the count. Chaz calls timeout, steps out of the box for a moment. The count is even, 1-1, with 2 outs, 2 runners on. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Astros trying to get some insurance runs or more insurance runs. Here's the pitch to the Chazmanian Devil. Long delay by Richardson. Little chopper up the middle, and they're going to fire to first. Do they get him? Yeah, no problem. Man, 2 hit by pitch from Richardson, and he's shaking his head as he walks off the mound. I can't blame him. He made some boo-boos. All right. Well, Astros don't get any insurance runs, and once again they strand runners on first and second. They've done that how many times this game? Maybe four innings they had runners on first and second, didn't come away with anything. 4 or 5 times. But we go to the top of the 9th. We are 3 out. I was about to say 3 hours. I hope not. My God, we are 3 outs away from this game being finished. Anything going on in the chat, guys? Nothing right now. 10 hanging in there. Live stream hasn't gotten up to 20 yet, but I'm not surprised. I don't think I've had more than about 13 viewers at the same time today. So having 16 likes is something I won't complain about. I appreciate all of you being here. It is now almost 5:40 in the morning. The sun is coming up. I'm going to put on my sleeping mask here in a moment, as soon as this game is finished, and get myself in the bed. Try to get some sleep. I'd like to do some moving today, but I'm still waiting for my knee to finish healing up. So I'm going to need another rest. What a day for Blanco. 8 innings pitched, 101 pitches, 11 strikeouts, 2 hits only. Sean Dubin is on the mound, man. We haven't seen him in a while. Sean Dubin. I still have his picture in my folder, so here's the first pitch from Dubin. 95, right in the top of the zone. Strike 1. Good start for Dubin. Next pitch is on the way. Ooh, just a little low and outside. Barely misses for ball 1, 1-1. TJ Friedel at the plate. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Here comes a pitch. Another one way outside. 3-1. After a really nice first pitch, he's just missing the mark. Come on, let's shut it down, Dubin. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That's in there and hit hard out in the left field. Chas McCormick floats over, puts it away for out number 1. All right, 2 more outs. That's all we need. Matt McLean comes to the plate. First pitch from Dubin is on the way, and that's way outside for ball 1. They've got an interview right now with Brian King about his mom. That's on the screen. You can see it right there. Next pitch from Dubin is on the way. Just misses low for ball 2. Two and 0 to Matt McLean. Here comes the pitch from Dubin. Ooh, clips the inside corner for strike 1. 2 and 1. Two strikeouts for McLean today, over 2. Here comes the 2 and 1 pitch. Swing and a foul tip, strike. The count is even, 2 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Hit out into right field and into the crowd for a repeat. 2 and 2 count. McLean had to change his bat out. Looks like he cracked the last one. Whenever they brought Dubin in, they flew him in and they optioned Van Way to AAA. So they kind of swapped him out, looks like. McLean's back in the box, has a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Dubin. That one's about a foot outside of the zone, and that's going to be a full count. Come on, Dubin. Dubin. Let's shut it down. Here comes the full count pitch. That one's fouled off again. Count remains 3 and 2. A dozen pitches now for Dubin. How many likes do I have on my live stream? Did I get to 20? Let's see. 16 still. Still at 16. Woo, just barely misses. That was about 2 inches outside of the zone. So Dubin walks Matt McLean. Got a 1-out base runner. Quite a number of pitches for Dubin right now, 13, and only has 1 out to show for it. Ellie De La Cruz comes to the plate. 2 strikeouts today, and a tap out to Ronel Blanco. First pitch to him is on the way. First one's fouled back for strike 1. 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Little lone outside. That evens the count, 1-1. The changeup missing. Dubin just needs 2 outs to get out of this inning. A double play ball would be really good. Cruz swings at that one, fouls it off. 80-mile-per-hour changeup. No, I'm sorry, that was a curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'd like to see a double play right here. That'd be my favorite, but a strikeout wouldn't be bad. But a game-ending double play on De La Cruz would be satisfying. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just a little low. There's that Reds butt stick, that Reds dance that they do. When it's inside, they act like it's way inside, like it almost hit them. They stick their butts way out. It's ridiculous. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3. He does the butt dance again. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm serious, guys. I see a lot of Reds do that, and sometimes they don't get away with it. You see how he just... Look at this. Look at it. Look at him stick his butt way out. Look at that. You see that? He acts like it's way inside, but it was in the zone. I've seen several of the Reds do that. De La Cruz does it a lot. It's acting is what it is. Here's the first pitch to Austin Hayes. The runner goes to second, no throw from Diaz. 0-1 is the count. 2 strikeouts for Hayes today. A lot of the Reds have strikeouts. Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt, ball 1, the count is even. That was really satisfying. Seeing De La Cruz do that nonsense, acting like the ball is going to clip him, and it's in the zone, it's in the strike zone. What a joker. What a clown. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Hit high in the air. This could be it. It's out to right field and center field. Cam Smith is underneath it. He puts it away. Out number 3. That's it. Astros put it in the bag. It's a shutout, guys. How do you like that? Ronel Blanco with a 2-hitter through 8 innings. That's awesome. And then our Sugarland minor league guy gets flown in from Utah. He has 1 inning to pitch, and he faces 4 batters, gives up nothing, and shuts down the Reds. The Astros get the win and the series. Glad I stayed up for this game. I wasn't really sleepy, and something just told me to do the game, and I'm glad that I did. A memorable game. Great pitching, great hitting for the Astros today. They win this one 6-0. I'm going to do a quick recap, and then I'm going to try to go to sleep. Very simple recap for me. Just 3 innings of 3 main hits scored these runs. In the bottom of the 3rd, there were 2 runners on for Diaz when he homered to left field. 3-0 Astros. In the bottom of the 4th, the Astros scored again on a sacrifice fly by Walker. 4-0 Astros. In the bottom of the 6th, Walker singled to center field, scoring Pena and Cam Smith. 6-0 Astros. So the Astros were hitting the ball today and scoring like they were supposed to. Absolutely. And a good hit-to-run ratio. 9 hits, 6 runs. The Reds, on the other hand, had trouble with Blanco. They had a couple of errors. They were only credited with 1, and that went on De La Cruz. But actually, Cruz should have been credited with 2 errors today. He made an error out in left field. They didn't credit him with that. They should have. But they had just 2 hits and couldn't get a single run on the board. Blanco, who gets the win today, went 8 full innings. 1 walk and 11 strikeouts. How do you like that? 101 pitches for Blanco. What a phenomenal day for him. Jordan says it's nice to have an easy win. I was gonna say that a few innings ago, but didn't dare. I understand. You didn't want to jinx it. I get it. With the Astros, you never know. But today, it felt like they were going to get there. But I'm the same way. I don't assume until the game is over. The last out is up, and the game is called. You never know. Willbite says good fight, good night. Absolutely to you too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone who's here today. As always, I'm very thankful for you to be here listening, supporting the channel, putting the likes. I got to 17. It seems that some people are coming in and checking out the live stream later on after it's finished and liking the videos. Sometimes they go up by another 5 or 6 likes, so it's most likely that this video will go over 20 today, so that's nice. Willbite says, wait, the Astros won a series against the Reds. Yeah, big news, huh? Big news. They win it 2-1 at home. What do you know? But anyway, that's it for me. It's almost 6 in the morning. Time for me to get some sleep. Time to get some rest. Hopefully I can use this as some momentum. The Astros are back above 500 again. And they gave a lot of their relievers some much needed rest today, thanks to the workhorse that is Ronel Blanco. Alright, that's it for me today, guys and gals. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Enjoy your Mother's Day with your families, with your moms, And I am going to get out of here until the next game. The Royals coming up real soon, tomorrow. The Astros don't have a break. They're going to play a lot of games in a row, so I'm going to be here tomorrow. Until that next game, all I have to say is Go Stros.